Hi everyone, I just wanted to get on here and give you all an update. I did have a successful VBA2C, so that is a vaginal delivery after 2 C-sections, and I had no issues, no complications. And I wanted to make this video because I want to empower other women who have been thinking about having a vaginal delivery after 2 C-sections but have some fears or concerns, or you know just to put my story out there. There aren't many videos I've seen of VBA2Cs, and I was hoping this would all go well so I can share it with everyone. So my son was born March 26th at 4:47 p.m. He is 8 pounds 12 ounces, and he is very healthy and happy, and I didn't have any complications at all. I'm feeling great. It is Saturday, and I got discharged today, and I'm back at home, which is great. So it was Thursday morning at 5 a.m. when I woke up after having 3 contractions in a row. I wasn't sure if it was the real thing because I have had a couple false labor days where I thought I was going into labor and then it just stalled out, and I was like, oh, please be it. I had scheduled a massage for that day at 9. That got canceled, so I was in the hospital at 6. Well, I left the house from 6:35, and it took us about like 40 minutes to get there. And when I got there, they checked me and triaged. They said I was only 2 centimeters dilated, so I was a little bit discouraged. I was thinking, oh no, they're going to send me home, but this is pretty painful. So they said, you know what, let's have you walk around the hospital and see if you can labor some more and see where we're at. That's exactly what I did, and they checked me again afterwards. I felt like the contractions got stronger and stronger, yet there was no cervical change. I was still 2 centimeters dilated, but one of the doctors that was on call had been watching me walk around, and he came in and said, we're going to offer you some pain medicines and see what happens. I did see you walking around, and I could see that you're more than likely going to stay. So I went ahead and accepted the meds. It was morphine. And I went from 2 centimeters to 4 centimeters after relaxing and letting my body do what it needed to do. I was still feeling some of the contractions, it just wasn't as painful. And I think because I wasn't relaxed enough. And, this is the first time that I've gone into labor for this long. I think whenever I went in with my first VBAC, my second child, I was already 4 centimeters when I went into the hospital, and I didn't really realize that I was, in labor, but I just had progressed a bit quicker. So I felt like I was in much more control this time. Though, because after the medicine wore off, I continued to feel those contractions and just really take them in. And I listened to worship music, I prayed about it, and I was even able to labor in the tub, which was amazing. I was so excited for that because I'd always wanted to labor in the tub. Not deliver in the tub, just labor in the tub. They were like, if you feel anything in there, just let us know right away. I was like, don't worry, I don't want to have a water baby. So once I got to that 4 centimeters, they admitted me. They went ahead and let me labor in the tub, and then slowly I was progressing a bit more. They offered me the epidural, and I took it. And I think by the time I had the epidural, I was 6 centimeters dilated or so. I know they did a check after the epidural, and I was already at 7 centimeters. But I was feeling everything on one side of my body, the left side, but not the right side. My complete right side was dead, was numb from like the waist down. And I was put in a peanut ball position on the left side and then on the right side. And I was having so much pain from my left side. I was just completely uncomfortable that I had asked them if I could just go on hands and knees just to relieve that like back pain and pressure that I was feeling. And they did. They put the peanut ball in front of me, and then I just kind of like laid over it, and I felt such relief. And I was still getting really bad, painful contractions. So they were going to bring epidural back in, but they couldn't find her. I think she was with another patient or out, or something was going on. And the doctor went ahead and came in and checked me and was like, "Do you just want to have the baby, or do you want to wait for epidural?" And I was like, if I push this baby out, I'm going to get some relief. I know I'll be over then. And I was like, "I'm ready. I'll just push." And she was like, "Since you're already, in this position and you're comfortable, do you just want to continue pushing in this position?" And I said, "Yes." So I actually delivered my baby on hands and knees position with the assistance of the nurses, and I think about 15 people came in behind me, but I really couldn't think about anything aside from getting that baby out, just because the pain was pretty intense from pushing. I was managing, but I was just like, why is he not coming out? I was pushing really, really hard. And with my previous VBAC, I had pushed for about 5 minutes. This one wasn't long. I just felt like it was doubled. It was like 10 minutes or a little bit over that I was pushing. And it's because he was so big. He was 8 pounds, 12 ounces. So I struggled a little bit to get him out. I did get a second-degree tear, but I feel fine. Um, I have I haven't had any issues like walking or using the restroom or anything like that. Obviously, I'm discharged, so I think the recovery will be smooth because I am still able to get up and do different things. So I'm just so happy. I had really prayed and asked God to, put the right people in my life that day, all the right nurses and the right doctors to, just support me in a VBA2C. No one questioned anything, and they just kind of, it's funny because I had a whole birth plan, and I was going to pass out my birth plan to everyone, make sure everyone was on board, everyone knew what I wanted. But my OB had already put in orders, for my VBAC. He had put something in my chart that said that, she has the consent form signed and this is what she's going to do, a TOLAC. And see if I can have that VBA2C. And then they gave me the golden hour with my baby. And it took them a while to offer my husband to cut the umbilical cord, which was awesome because by that time there was no blood in the cord. It seemed like everything had gone to the baby, and it just was above and beyond what I had expected and had hoped for. So I'm so happy I had the delivery that I had desired, and I just gave it all to Christ this Lent. And I'm happy, and I hope that I can encourage other women to, as long as everything's going well in your pregnancy and you find a doctor that is, willing to support you, and ask for, what you desire. Ask for, having a vaginal delivery if that's what you want. It is possible. There are risks, but for me, the risks were pretty low, about 1 to 2% for a tear on that previous C-section scar. And clearly, we had a success. So I'm just proud of myself, and I'm just thankful to God and happy that my baby is here and healthy, and thankful for the staff. They were amazing the entire time. So that's it. Bye, guys.